Today's topic is preparing your home for sale for the maximum return on investment, ROIs. So in preparing your home for sale, I've learned about a company, the Pegasus Group, who I'm delighted to have the two founders and principals with me today on this Zoom call. And they are Joshua Shattuck and Kristen McGill. So welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So you're out on the porch of your lovely home, enjoying the nice weather?
It could be much harder and worse.
Cool. So I'm so delighted to have you on because you meet a need that sellers and those of us agents who want to help the sellers get the most price for their home really meet. And that is, most homes, they're either we recommend this is a fixer, there's no point doing anything. We're just going to get it sold to somebody who's going to do the renovation and get it fixed up for themselves. Other homes, they can't move out. We're just going to declutter them and, help them with the best that they can do with how they live. But if they can move out, there's a big advantage to doing the painting, redoing the floors, to doing the remodeling, not necessarily major, but that make a big difference in appeal. And then combining that with staging. Many companies exist as staging companies, and then there are remodeling building companies, but you two have married it. You've put it together. You do quite a bit of business. You work for a lot of realtors. How many homes do you do in a month or a year?
Sure. Yeah, I think right now we do anywhere from 6 to 8 stages a week. So
wow.
I guess per month it's 30-ish to 40.
What do you attribute your popularity?
So I think we're very blessed. Chris and I come from backgrounds in the corporate world. So we were both senior executives in different branches of the industries. And then we were in real estate for a while and were successful there, built our own teams. And we joined forces, built a team. And then we saw a niche that just wasn't really present, where we had our own issues with stagers that we were using that were challenging, prima donnas, too much money, bad quality. And then Kristen's background in design, we started staging our own homes, and then got really popular very quickly because our other agent friends would come in and like, wow, who did this? And we're like, we did. Mm-hmm. So they started using us. And then eventually we broke off and left real estate altogether. And then we started doing listing prep, which is, as you mentioned, preparing a home for sale and trying to get the maximum ROI. And so we end up marrying those two things. I end up getting my general contractor license. And so we're licensed, insured, and bonded. And then we really started doing everything in one solution for real estate agents because nothing like that existed yet.
Well, Kristen, Joshua talks like he runs the whole company, but I know you're at least half of it. So your contribution, as I'm understanding it, is the design. So tell me, you obviously meet with the sellers and the agent when someone calls you for a listing prep bid or coming up with a project with a scale and stuff. So talk to me about that process a little bit.
Yep. So when we get a call from an agent, we schedule an on-site visit. That's the best way to visualize the house, see the space, and start. And when we're walking through, we're also making lists of what furniture we would bring into this house, how we would design it, how we would stage it. If it's staging, we're going to be looking at the furniture aspect. Is this big enough for an L couch? Is it big enough for a sofa? Those kind of ideas. If it's listing prep, we're going to take photos of all of the areas that we're going to repair. So if it's countertops, backsplash, light fixtures, we're starting to really think about the design from that initial meeting.
That might include appliances and
bathrooms,
or whatever, right?
Oh, it can be anything. It can be countertops, sinks, faucets, light fixtures, painting, flooring, just refinishing or replacing it. It could be tile in bathrooms, new vanities. It could be anything. Whatever we are going to look at and say, okay, there's ROI in doing this, that's what we'll recommend.
And based on the kind of home it is, like we agents are expected to know what a target buyer would be for this home. So
Exactly.
that, in other words, in some areas, it may not be worth over improving it because the neighborhood's going to hold the price down. Other areas, the neighborhood can pull the price way up if it's meets a standard that is normal for Tiburon or Belvedere.
And that's kind of where we work with our agent partners to say, what is your range that you're trying to hit from a comp perspective? What do the comps say? What's the most recent comp? Where do you want to be? That gives us an idea of how much we should improve it, or maybe how much we shouldn't improve it.
Exactly.
Right. So it isn't about spending $100,000 with you to get $100,000 increase in value. We want to get what, $300,000 value out of your $100,000 expenditure.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Every time we always try to recommend only things that have like a 2 or 3x or more in ROI.
Yeah. And from what I understand, you report that out not only at the end, here's your bill, but you show people what your cost and budgets are for various aspects.
Exactly.
We do, yeah. So Kristen's really good in working with our team to come up with a complete breakdown of all of the budgets from start to finish, by room, by appliances, by whatever. This way, it doesn't feel like you're working with your normal contractor where you get like one line item that says kitchen, 100,000. It's all broken out, very detailed.
So if we as agents didn't have the both functions or 3 functions wrapped up with you in one company, we would require 3 months to do the coordination on behalf of the seller most of the time.
Probably.
Seller, he has to do it and he'd say, forget it, I'm not going to sell now. Or it's really a target design that's fairly generic, right? Even though we talk about targeting to the kind of buyer, that's like knowing if this is going to be an executive home that's going to be used for parties and view and showing off, or if this is a family home that you're trying to make very habitable, right? You take all of that into consideration.
100%.
With the construction part, I got to ask you, Josh, are you getting a pinch now on the cost of materials?
I think we've been getting a pinch for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
The logistics side of materials is ridiculous. And that's why when Kristen alluded to earlier, when it comes to preparing homes, we try to only source material that's local, that we can actually, touch, smell, taste, feel, right? Because otherwise, if we had to wait, a week more, 2 weeks more, 2 months more, it just wouldn't happen.
You can't wait on a container off a ship. That's for sure.
No.
Not at all.
And sometimes when you do get it, it's broken or it's cracked or it's, you didn't get it, all of the whole set. So having that construction division, we've seen all the horror stories that go along with it. So we've created, checklists and parameters for our listing prep to avoid those types of issues from ever happening when you do have these very tight time constraints.
Let me take a little break here to tell the viewer, if you're enjoying this show, give us a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more of these kind of videos, please subscribe. And I'm just getting started with Broker Bernie. So you're going to be my sixth video, but I'm on a nice track. This has been in the last 2 months. So I thank you so much for helping me get this message out and sharing with me and the viewers the service that you provide. And I know I'm going to be using you with some listings coming up. So thank you both, Joshua Shattuck and Kristen McGill of the Pegasus Group.
Excellent. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank
See
you.
you soon.